I'm going to stick to Zoom because there's actually a little bit of a delay on YouTube. So it gets a little confusing where you're like, you're seeing yourself in slow-mo. First, I'll just make sure it works. Okay,
Oh,
got it.
bully for you for doing it.
Yay! Okay,
Yay.
we're awake. So I'm gonna go to Zoom, but I'll leave the chat up if people want to join us. Okay, and we're recording. And hi, Jade, how are you?
Good. Continuing to adjust my environment to try and make the picture look better.
Oh, do you have birds?
I do have birds, and I'm afraid I can't mute them.
No, that's okay. I love birds. I've always wanted them, but
they love it when I'm on Zoom, and they will not stop vocalizing.
Well, they hear Mom. They're like, oh, well, she's talking to us. She's
I think it's more like, ooh, and there are other people here, but we can't see them, so we can be loud too.
Oh, well, listen, thank you for doing this. I actually teased you. Well, first of all, is that your twin? Talk to me about your twin there.
Yes, it's Valancy. Is that what you mean?
Oh my goodness, the same shades too. That's so cute.
Yes, I'm quite proud of her wig because it took actually a fair amount of work to get her a wig that matches my hair.
Well, where did you get it? Tell me about the work.
My hair right now is, my natural hair is brown underneath.
Okay.
And gray on top. It's
it is
naturally ombre, however that is pronounced.
You're chic, you didn't even know it.
And then I get blonde highlights. So I bought her a wig that was blonde and brown underneath, and I added my own gray highlights.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
This is her third wig over the years of being me.
Oh, she's evolved with you, and you guys are wearing the same shirt.
We are wearing the does this shirt make shirt make my head look big?
Yes. Right. Oh, that's awesome.
Nancy, she's very floppy. She needs a new body.
Do you ever put Dow on a different body? Do you ever try the A zones? Does that work?
I haven't. Other people have done I think just about every body imaginable. Like Gocha has the Buell on the Made to Move Barbie.
Oh, that's right.
I have so many dolls. I don't do a lot of rebodying.
Yeah.
The other thing is Groove. If they're going to feature a photo, they want dolls on their bodies.
Gotcha.
So like Valancy will never get another body except maybe I might have to sacrifice a Monomono to her so she gets another Monomono body. She will always be on the Groove stock body because they, like in their contests, they'll actually say they have to be original Groove.
Yeah.
So
you're right. They don't like the carving and they don't like, I get it. I mean, it's their doll. It would be weird if they were a doll. Yeah.
I've had her since 2008. She has traveled a lot.
I bet she has.
I bought some new the make it own bodies, and they're very pink. The older dolls were much more of a pale, very pale, and
almost a yellowy,
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that if it matches the head, but I was like, nope, she cannot go on this body. So someday I will buy a Monomono that sacrifices her body to Valancy, and then the Monomono head will go on an A zone or body. I do have to tell you the most fun story about Valancy being my mini-me, which is Monomonos are very well known for breaking their ankles, especially their left ankle. Just about any Monomono that you have, if you play with her at all, she's eventually going to break her left ankle. So in 2013, I broke my left ankle.
No way.
So I say that's like really makes me the queen of the dolls. And that
you're
year
really committed.
That year at Puddle, we actually have like a month's worth of outfits that we could wear every day that match. And so that year, I had found some high-topped, starry, sort of like Chucks, boots or shoes, and she had a matching pair, and we both had our ankles wrapped at Puddle.
Oh, that's awesome. How many it's rude, but I'm going to ask, how many dolls do you have? Well, in
Um,
the ballpark, because we can
the
never
ballpark,
really know.
right. Well, I actually do keep a list.
Okay.
So we'll back up a little and I will talk about how I discovered dolls.
Yeah, please.
I have always loved dolls. And I used to have a corporate job. I'm a public librarian now, and I made a lot more money. And I had a huge Barbie collection. Always loved Barbie. And I used to subscribe I still do, all the print doll magazines. And I was reading Haute Doll, which had Haute New York and Haute LA, two Pullip dolls that they released in conjunction with June Planning. And there was an article on the Rosen Maiden dolls, and it had Hina Ichigo. And I had not seen Doll before. And I was like, who is this? How do I get her? And I just fell head over heels for this, whatever it is about Doll's face up.
Yeah. Her
little thought, I always say contemplative expression. I don't say that she looks mean or mad. And at that time, there were 5 dolls out. So I found Magma Heritage online and I bought Dirta, Fiore, and Hina Ichigo.
Oh my God. Okay.
Then while I was waiting for them, I discovered Pullip Style and I was like, what the heck? And I bought Ratchan and Monomono. So of course those arrived first. And the first doll I ever actually held was Ratchan. That just happened to be the first one that I opened. And unlike sometimes you get a doll and you're like, she looks so much cuter in her pictures. I was like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? So I bought Suni, I bought the Another dolls, which was quite an ordeal back then because you could only buy them straight from Korea. I bought each doll. And each doll, I would say to myself, eventually I'll stop buying every single doll release.
Okay.
The one who tested me the most was Gloomy Bear. I knew nothing about the Gloomy Bear character.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck is this doll? This boy doll in a bear suit that's covered in blood. What the heck?
Right.
But I bought Gloomy Bear and she's actually quite cute if you wig her and redress her. But so I have every doll that's been released.
My gosh, really?
And in fact, I have at least 2 of every doll that's been released except Shanti.
Oh my gosh.
I have 12 Monomono.
This is a confessional.
Just kidding. Because in the early days, like people would buy them, they were $60 and they would sell them nude with a broken leg on eBay for $30 shipped.
Yeah.
So I have a fair number of Dirta, Fiore, and Monomono who were the early releases.
Right. Those
but
breakages.
So I also, my favorites, about a dozen or so, I have a never removed from box version as well. So I have like probably 220 dolls.
Okay.
200-ish.
And how do you feel about, I know that, I feel like the releases for doll are kind of fewer and far between these days.
Once a year.
Yeah, that must bum you out.
It does bum me out. It also, though, I am no longer, I don't have a corporate job anymore. My beginning Pullip doll collection was mostly funded from selling my Barbies. Because I don't have the money that I used to for things like dolls. So in a way, it's actually good because it's very easy to buy 2 Pixies one year, 2 Soleils one year, 2 Manuels one year, as opposed to a doll a month or 2 dolls a month, which is what was happening at the beginning. It does bum me out, however, because I love doll so much. I mean, at least it's not as bad as Buell, who is.
Oh gosh, poor Buell.
Yeah, poor Buell. I certainly hope that, she stays active in their lineup.
Yeah.
Another thing that I have told many people, but perhaps not you or some of our listeners, the Pullip and Doll Lovers event, that's PUDDLE.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
PUDDLE, Pullip and Doll Lovers event, is actually a doll convention. I just knew I couldn't have a convention just for dolls.
You get a lot of, can I bring my Pullip?
Yes. So I was so excited about her, and I moved from the Chicago area to Western Illinois, which is kind of remote compared to the Chicago area. I didn't have anyone here to like really bond with over the pull-ups and dolls. So I was thinking of starting a convention, and I actually decided to do it when I finally figured out a name, because I would be like doodle PDT, like Pullip Doll until I could come up with something you could pronounce.
Right. Something memorable, something catchy. Wait, when was this? How many years ago? Because
so 2008 was 2008. The first. This year was supposed to be the 13th. It's the Haunted Library, Puddle the 13th. And it has been rescheduled for next year. It'll still be the 13th because we didn't do one this year.
Exactly. Yeah. Same theme, same haunted library.
Yeah, the haunted library, because I have all the stuff. I have mugs, I have bags, I have pins. They're all going to say 2020.
So okay. Oh, that's all right. That's okay. So, what were those first puddles like? I'm so curious. Were they? How many people? Were they at the same place, or?
The first one was at Mitsuwa in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Japanese market.
Yeah. Oh,
if you've never been to one and you have a chance, go. They have a full grocery store filled with Japanese items. The one in Chicago has my favorite place, which is the bakery. It's mostly actually French bakery. It's like French and Japanese baked goods combined.
Yeah, it's kind of a Japanese thing, the bakery, but you're right. Oh my gosh, that bakery's insane.
So the Happy Hippo, and then they have a food court, and then the bookstore where you can also buy not only Japanese books and magazines, and many people love the ones with the patterns, but lots of anime and manga stuff.
Yeah.
So the first year I said, on this date, I'm going to be at Mitsuwa. Please come join me. Let's talk about Pullip and Doll. There was no cost. There was no room. We just hung out at Mitsuwa all day. It was a beautiful day. It was in May, and 35 people came.
Oh gosh. That's a big number for just decide. Don't you think? You must have taken over the food court.
We did, and we actually spent, the Mitsuwa in Chicago has a grassy area outside, a big open field. And so we actually would go back and forth because they were actually quite worried about us monopolizing the food court. And we were very careful not to. So during the lunch hour, especially, we were outside.
Okay.
They used to have a huge remint section at the Mitsuwa market. I mean, really big, like a whole thing. And we wiped them out because we had no vendors, right? So we just kept going in and buying remint. And I shouldn't say we had no vendors because Pullip Style at that time lived in the next suburb.
Oh, so that's right. Yes, they did
that there. Pre-ordered dolls. And so Mike came over and delivered them. And also said, would you like any others? So he made like 3 trips. So everyone left that day with lots of remint and new dolls.
Oh, where was I? Oh my gosh, that sounds like an amazing
having him like right there, it was amazing. I had never seen Ditta in favorite Ditta Pullip, and she's my favorite Pullip now. When I saw her in person, I loved her so much. And that was one of the ones I bought that day. Wow. And so of the people who came, it included a family that drove their teenager from Ohio. Sashi, who came from Minnesota. Then we had someone who came from Virginia or Washington, a college student.
Oh my gosh.
So I said, you know what? I think this might be something we could do. So the next year we were at the Courtyard, which is across from Mitsuwa, still in Arlington Heights. And I rented their biggest room, which was not a very big room. And we had 60, I think. And we were on top of each other. It was such a small room. Fortunately, the Courtyard, as its name implies, had a courtyard. So we also, like, if you go back to PUDDLEstyle.com is our website. And if you go through the history section, there's photos from every year. And you can see us outside, the group shots, the group doll shots. And
Am I able to do that? Can I share that? I wonder if I could pull that up. Let me see if I can pull.
PUDDLEstyle.com.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. So, wow, 60 people. Okay.
Yeah. Then the next year, so there was someone, a woman whose Etsy shop was called Blythe's OCD Closet. And she was a vendor at our first one. If you've never
Okay.
seen her stuff, she did amazing knit or crocheted, I'm sorry, I don't know the difference, knit or crocheted outfits with felt hats for Blythe and Pullip. So cute, so, so cute. I have a number of them. But after that Puddle, she called or she contacted every single hotel or event location in the northwestern Chicago area and asked for prices and room sizes,
Wow.
which was amazing.
Oh my
And she
gosh.
found the hotel that we've been at ever since, Holiday Inn Chicago Elk Grove.
They've been good to us.
Yeah, they have been very good to us. And the other thing is, it's in a very safe neighborhood, but in a very industrial neighborhood. So it's not an attractive location. Like, I doubt there'd ever be a BlytheCon there, because they love to be like right in the heart of a city where you can just walk out the door and be in a museum. This place is surrounded by warehouses and offices.
Sure.
So
it's the destination you're going to.
Yeah, I mean, it's an airport hotel. A lot of people stay there who are just flying into Chicago for a meeting and flying out over that kind of thing. But the hotel itself is quite nice. Recently renovated, has a pool, and an enormous ballroom. So yep, there you are in 2009, the first year Crayola came, who has become sort of my second. There's the group shot, yep, of the second.
When did you start the dress like your doll thing? Because that's popular.
Yeah, if you actually go back to the full, there should be some pictures there. Yeah, because Valancy and I dressed like Suisei Seki.
Oh my gosh.
Perhaps there's not any from the actual contest.
So there, you had the dress like your.
There's Valancy, and she's in that Valancy. That's my mini me. She's in Suisei Seki's costume there at the beginning.
Oh,
she was quite exhausted at the end of the day.
Oh, she looks it. She's tuckered out. Poor dear.
So we had that from the beginning. If you go to the first one, Delightful Freak, who hasn't been to Puddle the last few years, but when she was 13, she came to the first one. There she is in blue right there. And she is dressed like her Dirta. If you see the 13-year-old in the second one there, there's a picture of just her by herself. And there's Asashi is also dressed like her doll. So even the first one, I said, feel free to dress like your doll.
And people were like, you got it.
It's
you
very
don't
funny,
need to talk
actually.
Me into it.
Delightful Freak, it was very funny. She was 13. And her mom was like, you're going to meet some person you met online.
I've had a few of those. I've met a few parents like, I'm not that crazy. I'm completely harmless.
Well, then once her mom met me and saw there were other people there, she was like, okay, this really is what it was advertised as. So yeah, that has been part of it from the beginning, the dress like your doll. The photo contest started the second year.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I mean, that is a turnout for a first event that that's amazing. And so
yeah, it just really showed that people wanted to meet up and talk about these dolls.
And didn't really have a con for these type of dolls. But I mean, I can just look at these banners and you can see the evolution, right? Mm-hmm. It's just, how would you say it's changed over the years? This is my favorite. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I was there for Tea Party.
Oh, the 10th, 2016, 2017?
Yeah, I'm so glad I was there for that one.
Well, it's definitely gotten more professional, largely thanks to Crayola's primary work is on the website.
We just have a very
basic website that I just did in HTML. I mean, at least it was there and people could get information on it.
Yeah.
And the photography, I look at my early photographs and I'm just like, but then we grow. The more you practice something, the better you get. And I participated in a lot of doll contests to make me up my game. So even like the banners, you can see there with.
Yeah, look at this.
They have really, we're much more professional. A few years ago, the artist Bubo Plague, or Insta Plague, if you know her, she started doing the art, and that also to have a professional artist drawing our name, the art for the name tags every year, doing specific art, button, the gift bags. We started doing actual cloth gift bags, and they are, as a set, they're amazing.
The bags are insane. Register for the bags. I mean, I think I had such sticker shock the first time I went to BlytheCon, because it's 4 times as much to go. And okay, it's a different event and it's bigger and badder and whatever. But the last time I went, there were close to 100 people there. And the gift bag was this beautiful cloth number, and it had that pin from, is it Bubo?
Plague, yeah, Insta
gorgeous pin, eye chips, all this fun stuff. And I thought, this is worth admission alone.
Well, thank you for that advertisement. And so I have had more and more people contribute. And as you were saying in your intro to today, that's really what makes an event better. The more people who are contributing. Miu Fish has been amazing. She's done free customs for us. She used to do plushies for us. She does a paper doll every year.
You're right. I forgot about Miu Fish. I know she's really involved, and she is a fairy. She's kind of mysterious and quiet and behind the scenes, but then you'll get like 75 plushies.
And she is the #1 original English language manga artist in the country.
People don't know that.
No, they do not. She's amazing. Her face-ups, I mean, I know many fabulous customizers. Her face-ups look like stock dolls. You would never see her face up and think that it was a custom if you didn't.
I know. I agree. Actually, the first time I went to Puddle, she had donated that rainbow Yolame.
The most popular custom we ever raffled off.
Blew my mind. I'd never seen that doll. And so I thought, what's happening right now? How do I get, my fingers were like tingling.
Everybody was. She was so beautiful. And she was a collaboration with someone else who did the art, the
everything together. The outfit, was just the wig, the face. Oh gosh.
I donated the wig.
Did you?
It was a milk wig.
Thank you, girl.
Milk doll wig. And I mean, for several years, Kira has sent us 150 eye chips, and she has amazing, realistic eye chips. Just so many people have contributed. But I still do about 80% of the work. One thing I'm happy to have the chance to tell people is the behind the scenes work is where most of Puddle takes place.
Yeah.
Because I contact, all those wonderful donations, I contact them, I ask them if they'll contribute. When they contribute, I thank them, I post a picture on Facebook and I tag them after the event, and I send them the list of where they can see that their shop is being advertised. We also advertise in paper at Puddle. I send them a thank you after, because they need to know they're reaching people, that's why they donate. And I am very proud of the fact that Puddle it's $31 right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think people think I either work for Groove or I get something for doing Puddle, and I don't.
That's so funny.
I'm sure you are familiar with this. Yeah. I do it because I love Doll so much. And it's like Puddle, people come to me and say, this is my favorite day of the year. And that's, of course, how I feel as well. But I get I don't get anything. I will occasionally after the event, if something was donated and wasn't taken as a door prize or something, maybe I'll take an extra.
Exactly. You deserve
I'll take
it.
this rement set that no one took from the door prizes, but I don't get paid. It is like a second job for me. Normally, this year's not normal, but normally I work on Puddle every weekend. I'm doing something to make sure that it stays in, that people are aware of it, and that it's the best event that it can be.
Did you get a bigger car yet? Because I've seen your vehicle.
The first 2 years I had a Beetle, which was really
you had a tiny car.
And the second year I picked someone up at the airport, and she was crammed into the seat
between donations and decorations.
Because it was so full. Yeah, my second car is called Crayola's car.
Oh, okay.
We've been fortunate the last few years that she has lived south of me and drives to my house, and then we drive together to the event.
Nice.
because I would have to get a U-Haul or rent a van otherwise, because it is just, yeah. And my is it Jenga skills are amazing, because
I've seen
my
them
car is perfectly level, but
with all the
just enough,
boxes and
yes, for me to see.
that's awesome. So what would you say to people? Obviously, if you're in the US, puddlestyle.com. I mean, people come from all over now. I used to be the one who traveled the furthest, but it's not the case anymore. You see people from other countries coming. But
Right.
speaking of people from other countries, is there a way to get involved? Like if I can't make it, I know there are contests. You do stuff online too.
Excellent question. Um, so yes, the one thing we do that anyone can participate in is the photo and art contest. The deadline is before Puddle. We choose the winners before Puddle. And so almost, actually, I think more years than not, that has been won by someone who does not live in the US. It's free to enter. Anyone can enter up to 2 pieces of art and 2 photographs. They do have to be connected to the theme in some way. So if you go through again back to Puddle Style and look at we have galleries of all the contest entries over the years, and you can really see some amazing entries. And fortunately, most years I've been able to get those published in a print doll magazine.
I've seen those.
Because like for them, right here, they're getting this amazing gallery of photos from a wide variety of artists. Right.
Yeah.
And then the other way, of course, is, anyone can donate. We now have, I have capped attendance at 144. The one year we went 20 over that, I honestly was about ready to quit. It's amazing how much more work 165 was than 144.
At your limit.
And so that's what fits comfortably in the room at the guest table. So, but anyone who donates stuff for the gift bags, donate stuff. We do have a raffle, which helps support Puddle. And we also, every year, I think it's very important, if we are wealthy enough to collect things, that we give back. So every year there's a charity connected usually to the theme. And so a lot of the raffle money goes to the charity. So anything, and if not, raffles, also prizes, because we do have so many contests. And so it's nice to have a variety of prizes that people can choose from.
Awesome. Okay. Well, it's almost the top of the hour. So puddlestyle.com. However, I would also like to do the plug for the Facebook group, because I feel like that's gaining some traction too. You've got a lot of members there, and I think just this year you've done some virtual events, which I think has been fabulous. You need to mention that.
I've been doing some Zoom calls that anyone can join, just because some of us, I live alone and I feel a little isolated, even though I'm working, I'm not seeing friends. And so the Zoom calls, we really just hang out and talk. We did a pampering edition where some of us wore the face masks that you wear. It's pretty funny. We did a smart doll edition because so many of my Puddle friends are now also collecting smart dolls. And the most recent thing I did was I offered to throw anyone a Zoom birthday party. So if you don't have anyone to spend your birthday with, or you do, but you have some free time, contact me. We'll pick a day and a time, and I will do an open Zoom, and you can hang out with Dolly friends.
Oh, that's so awesome. I love that. I love that birthday idea. Okay.
Can I mention just one other thing?
Yeah,
although Puddle is definitely focused on the Pullip and doll family, we welcome all dolls. I love all dolls, even though I don't have all of them. And since the second year, we've allowed anyone, for example, to enter the cosplay with any doll they want, because your mini-me is not necessarily a Pullip or a doll. It might be a Blythe, it might be a BJD. So we would never, ever say, oh, don't put your Blythes on your table. Don't put we love to just see what everybody is collecting. So if someone collects a doll that doesn't have an event, and especially like perhaps lives close to Chicago, you might think, oh yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and come to Puddle.
I agree. I remember, there's a vendor who's there almost every year, and they sell, what do you call those? Momoko dolls
Oh,
and
right.
A-Zone dolls and those Kiki Pop dolls. Oh my gosh.
And now Misty, the
Oh yeah.
another new fashion doll. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that is something that is, it's very welcoming. I've found Puddle to be nothing but welcoming. It is my favorite day of the year. And it's a reminder that the people that you talk to every day online are just as awesome in person. And there's just something you don't get whenever everything's virtual. Sometimes it's just nice to like,
It's true.
let me hold your doll, or this is, I've joked before, I don't remember people because maybe they don't have a pictures online or whatever, but I recognize their doll. I'm like, that's you.
Yeah, people run up and say hello to the doll.
Right. Like, oh my gosh, it's you. Oh, right. You're right. Anyway, okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining me, Jane.
You're welcome.
And for going live, for being brave enough to go live with me.
Thank you for
So
doing this.
again, yeah, everybody, puddlestyle.com. Look on Facebook for Puddle, which is the Pullip and Doll Lovers
event. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Showing
thanks,
my
guys.
shirt. Does this shirt make my head look big?
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. All right.